What's up, Juventini? Alberto here. Got all your Juve news, and it's a wild one today, all right? A coach already decided for the 24-25 season for Juventus. Romeo Agresti giving us a little bit of an insight there. We'll take a look at that. List of outsiders at Juventus. Is Federico Chiesa one of them? We got the details there, and an Allegri out ad space taken out by Juventini in Times Square. I'm going to weigh in on that one too, and all the other news, as there's a ton today to tackle. So like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the AJC. Let's rock. First things first, Lewis Ferguson continues to be listed as an objective for Juventus in the summer mercado. He has had a strong season, has been promoted to captain, and remains having eyes from Juventus on his performances and his play. But he is one of many in the midfield. And if I'm being quite honest, I don't really have him high up on the list at midfield in terms of all the targets and the names we've been listed with. I want to know from you what rank he takes up for you in terms of targets we've heard of in the midfield, all right? But for now, we just keep his name in the back pocket and see what happens in the summer. Federico Chiesa, branded as the worst player out of that Udinese game for Juventus. I disagreed with that. Many Juventini disagree with that, but nonetheless, him and this situation with him and Juventus right now has Hawkeyes around it, all right? Everybody keeping tabs on what's going on and everybody highly anticipating what the move is going to be. But we cannot deny certain things, all right? The numbers aren't strong backing him. There are health concerns there. He has got no renewal right now, and his valuation continues to drop, all right? Going into a final contract year as well. Right now, the valuation set to be around 25 million euros. I personally believe that's too low. I think 30 should be worst case scenario for Federico Chiesa, even on a final contract year. But 35 million to 40 should be the aim. 40 might be too high, but 35 I think is fair value when you're looking at some of the other players we have on our list and their valuations. But nonetheless, this Chiesa thing is going to get very, very interesting. Could he also want to test the market in the summer? Or is there going to be a little bit of a wild card, which we will get to in a bit? Going back to what I said at the top of the show, a coach being decided for the 24-25 season. More on that in a bit. Filip Kostic, the latest on him is all signs are pointed to his future being away from Juventus, all right? He was kept out of the Udinese match for tactical reasons. However, the dip in form from last season to this one cannot be denied, and it does look like the future is going to be away from Juventus for Filip Kostic. Vlahovic, the plan for him is to train in full today and be there for the Verona match. We're going to need him because he has been playing great in the 2024 calendar year. Danilo will also return from suspension, and many Juventini felt his presence and leadership was grossly missed against Udinese, all right? So Danilo and Vlahovic back, that will bode well for Juventus, not just on Saturday, but down the stretch. Paul Pogba, the latest on him is that he is definitely an outsider at Juventus, and Juve is going to be looking to make a move there and see him out. It's been nothing short of a disaster. As far as his trial goes, we all heard that it was postponed to February 15th. Apparently what we're hearing today is that February 15th or after is when the new trial date is going to be issued. So we wait that news. Manchester United, it is being labeled today that it is practically a certainty that they are going to come knocking for Bremer this summer. And as far as the numbers, we have heard everything from 70 million all the way up to 100 million in terms of what Juventus is going to be looking for to sit down. But today, being labeled that it is a certainty, Man U is going to come in the summer for Bremer. Cambiaso, he is apparently being listed as unsellable by Juventus, and there is several clubs interested in the player, but Juve has absolutely zero intention of moving him, and I think that's the right call. However, money talks, and would I put Cambiaso in one of those columns where I say he is untouchable unless it's a very, very strong number for him? Juve is going to be a selling team. We still have some work to do. I'm going to lean towards the fact that I'd like to keep Cambiaso around, and there are a lot of other names I'd look to move ahead of him. So I'm going to stick to that one, but can't wait to hear from all of you on this one. Fiorentina apparently could be ready to spend the 20 million euros to buy outright Arthur in the summer. However, they could fight for a second loan spell. But what's being reported here is that Arthur may not want to actually remain there, and I'm not buying into this one. Why would he want to make a shift? Finally finding a place rather than get shifted all over the place, not having good seasons. He's putting in a good season at Fiorentina. I can't understand why he wouldn't want to remain there. All right, so this is going to be a situation, of course, we're going to have eyes on. Now we get to the Allegri out movement. We saw this a while ago, and Allegri out was brandished all over the Juventus official tweets and social media posts on Instagram, etc. Well, now you have apparently a couple Juve fans putting out an ad on Times Square stating Allegri out. For me, listen, number one, I don't even know if this is real. I fail to believe that this is real. I mean, to go through to this extent, I don't believe it for 1 second. But hypothetically, since everybody is asking me for my take on the matter, it's simply this. I have no problems with people having their opinions and thinking that the way forward is for him to leave. I have absolutely no problems with that, okay? I don't. I have no problems with that. What I see this as, though, is complete disrespect for someone that still, if these past 3 years have not gone the way any of us would want to have them go, it's still disrespect to someone that's going to end up being a legend at Juventus, all right, which is undeniable. Legend treatment is big for me in terms of the fans and how we treat our legends. I never want us to fall into the categories of certain clubs who are ridiculed and mocked for the way that they treat past legends and whatnot. So I don't really like this. Also, I see it kind of on that similar lines of fans that'll go to certain extents to send DMs, private messages to players directly through social media and send verbal abuse and whatnot. It's just way over the top for me to go to that level. Having open discussions and sharing your opinions is absolutely fine. Taking it to this level, completely uncalled for, disrespectful, and for me personally, I think it's a bad look for the fans. And for me, if it's true, coming through out of Times Square, I think a very, very bad look for us in North America, and one that I definitely am not associated with or backing, all right? But I still do not believe that it's real, all right? But in terms of the coaching chair and everything, all right, Romeo Agresti brings us that he feels from everything he's gathering and everything going on that it's already in Juve's head who the coach is going to be for the 24-25 season. All right. Now, some take that as saying it is going to be Max, and that's already in their heads. Elkan wants to extend. Giuntoli has openly said before the match against Udinese he wants to continue the relationship. But remember, I always say, watch out for that kiss of death and take every word with a grain of salt. We saw Nedved was the king of that, saying one thing and then the club acting in a different manner. Romeo Agresti gives us this. He says, I'm going to give you something that's not news, but just a perception for him with everything going on, that we are going to see a change at the coaching position. All right, so there you have it. Romeo giving us his insight with everything he's gathered, and he believes that there is going to be a change there. Do you believe there's going to be a change there? What do you think about the ad space? What do you think about all the news around Juventus right now? A ton there for you to tackle. Can't wait to hear from you all. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow with another edition. As always, no matter what, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.